Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a chit-chatty type of video. I'm going to share with you my breastfeeding challenges of what I've experienced so far over the past 2 months and what I've actually done to kind of overcome them or try to overcome them. So it's going to be a highly personal video and I'm going to be touching on a lot of things that have to do with breasts and all that stuff in detail. So if that's something that you're not comfortable with, feel free to click away and check out my other videos where I talk about more happy things like hauls and makeup and all that good stuff. So breastfeeding, like anything in life, there's ups and downs, and I'm not going to say that it's all bad. And obviously there's a lot of benefits to breastfeeding for the mom and for the baby. First of all, it allows you to bond with your baby. It allows your baby to get proper nutrition from your breast milk, and I do enjoy the sessions with my son because it allows me to hold him tight and all that, and it makes me feel like a mom basically. However, the reality of it is that it's not an easy thing to do, at least for me, and I hope that by doing this video it will help you if you want to get yourself mentally prepared for breastfeeding, or if you're watching this while you're breastfeeding. Because the first thing that I had to overcome was the pain of having pain in my nipples. So I guess because of the sudden bout of activities that my nipples were experiencing, it started cracking, it started bleeding even, and it was just really painful when he actually sucks on it, and it was sometimes it would be painful throughout the entire feed. What I've actually used to kind of overcome that or to help me with that pain is my nipple cream right here. This is the one that I've been using. There's many different variations you can find in the market. I got this from Mothercare. It's by the brand Lancino and it's the lanolin cream. So you could do two things. You could either try to express a little bit of milk, like by squeezing your nipples at the end of each feed and then putting it around your nipples, but I found that this is much more effective. So after each feed I literally take like a good proper amount of it. It's a little bit sticky, so put it around the nipples and then it kind of makes it a little bit better during the next feed. It's 100% natural, so it's purely safe for your baby. I really like this because before your baby actually feeds, you don't actually need to wipe it off. If you need something to help out with your nipples, do try a nipple cream. It really helps. I had to breastfeed just now. How ironic is that? But I'm back and this is a new angle. So we were talking about the first challenge, which was basically painful nipples. Now we're going to go on to the second challenge that I had, which is basically the dilemma between breastfeeding exclusively or supplementing with formula milk basically. And this was something that I was debating for a while, and because I was reading a lot of books that were telling me, you should breastfeed your baby exclusively for at least 6 months, and when you go to the doctors, the nurses and the doctors and everyone else would tell you, yeah, breastfeeding exclusively is the way to go. So I think I was finding it very challenging because it is very tiring and it takes a lot out of you when you have to breastfeed every 30 minutes or every hour, because there's the pain, you don't know whether you're actually producing enough milk and all that. And I think the last straw or the turning point came to me when I remember it was, I think, on the 3rd week. So my baby, he feeds a lot and I think he was going through a growth spurt. I don't know whether it was that or because he's a boy, therefore he feeds a lot more. He was feeding like constantly, and I remembered that there was one day where he was basically feeding from 4 p.m. all the way till 9 p.m. non-stop, and I felt like I literally wanted to scream for help. Just kept wanting more and more milk. So at about 9 p.m. after like, I don't know what, 4 or 5 hours of trying to feed him, I tried to express a little bit of milk and I realized that there was no milk coming out at all. So I realized, you know what, stop being stupid, just go and make formula. So I made some formula and he fed really well, and then he went off to sleep really nicely. So it's really a battle of trying to breastfeed exclusively but realizing that there is no more milk, or let your baby starve, or do you want to turn to formula? So I decided to turn to formula, and ever since then I decided to give myself a break, and that's what you have to do as well. Give yourself a break. If you're really very tired and if you really feel that, look, there's just no breast milk, don't be too hard on yourself. That's formula. It was created for a reason, and they created formula for babies that are even newborn for a reason. Maybe because some mothers just do not have enough breast milk. Come up with a formula now whereby if I have fed on both breasts and he's still hungry, that's when I will make formula. Or if I have breastfed and within less than an hour he still wants more milk, or less than 2 hours he still wants milk, that's when I would turn to breast milk to kind of supplement what I have. And to be honest with you, sometimes when I'm asleep and it's 4:30 in the morning and I'm so freaking tired, I can't get up, I would tell my husband to make formula milk as well. So I'm quite unapologetic about it. When the doctors and the nurses ask me, I will just tell them, yeah. After I started doing the whole formula thing, my life just changed. Like, I feel a lot less stressed out. I feel like, you know what, I have a formula going and a routine going, so if I just can't do it, or if he wakes up at a particular time and wants milk, formula's the way to go. I don't feel as stressed out as I was before. The third challenge which I had with regards to breastfeeding is that I recently discovered that I had some clogged milk ducts. Say that very fast. Clogged milk ducts. Clogged milk ducts. What happened was that during going into the second month, I realized that I was starting to feel a lot of pain. When I'm breastfeeding him, I started feeling a lot of sharp pain by the sides of my breast, and after like an hour of feeding, I would feel a lot of cramps in both of my breasts. It was only after talking to my friends again, and this is why it's so important to have like friends that you can talk to. If you don't have friends who are going through the same experience with you, go and look at the forums and see what other moms are experiencing. Get involved in the forums. It really helps to talk to people who are kind of at the same wavelength or life stage as you are. So when I spoke to my friends, they told me, no, you should not be feeling any pain when you breastfeed. And that's when I realized that, and after a few friends actually said that, that's when I realized that, okay, I need to do something about it, because this is not normal. Breastfeeding should not be painful, and that's what all the books were telling me as well. So I went to see the lactation specialist, and I went to see the one in NUH. How it works is where the chin of the baby touches your skin, that's where the suction power is the most powerful. So because I was having him on the cradle position, this part of my breasts were very soft, like the milk was getting a good flow out of my body. However, the sides of my breasts were really hard, and it was surprising because at home I did try to feel my breasts and they felt really normal, but the way to actually properly feel your breast is to pinch your breast, and if you pinch and you feel that it's really hard, that means you have some clogged milk ducts happening. So it's not something that, you know, is very serious, although it really gave me a lot of pain. There were nights where I could not even sleep because the pain was so bad. The size of my breast also plays a part, because I am a 38D, and that means that I think just by sucking from one position, it will not be able to get all the milk from around the breast. So I think I have to kind of interchange the positions that I have. So she made me do a cradle position, and then she basically pressed on my breast to get rid of all the milk. She was saying that, yeah, your baby's drinking yogurt right now because the stuff that's being clogged up is very thick. So thankfully, my baby, he was feeding a lot that day, so we managed to get both of the breasts unclogged. But over the past couple of days, I still had to do a lot of like unclogging, and it was just a really painful experience. I recommend that if you feel any kind of pain while breastfeeding, that's not normal. It is supposed to be pain-free, so just make sure that you try to feel whether there's any clogged milk ducts. If you still feel pain, I highly recommend to go and see a lactation specialist. So if you are a big-breasted person like myself, I would recommend to interchange the positions that you have. There's the cradle position, the sleeping sideline position, and then there's the football position. Last challenge that I wanted to kind of share with with you is really about the seating position, or the position that you have while you breastfeed. Before I met up with the lactation specialist, I was using like a little bit of cushions, a little bit of padding, and most of the time I was bending down to him, especially since I was using the cradle position. I was bending down to his mouth rather than lifting him up to my breast. When I went to the lactation specialist, she had like a huge sofa, she had a lot of padding, she used towels, she used pillows, she basically just used everyday items that you would have around the house to make me feel comfortable basically. And I really enjoyed it, and it was quite life-changing because the way that she padded me or around me was done in such a way that I did not really need to strain myself whatsoever to actually breastfeed you. I was just literally sitting. I didn't even need to hold anything. I could have my hands free. And my advice is, if I had to do it all over again, I would really consider getting a proper chair just for you to breastfeed. Usually if you have a proper nursery and all that, and you would have room in your room to actually have a chair, try to invest in a proper nursing chair. Right now I don't really have space in my house to do that, and I have worked out a system whereby I'm using a lot more pillows, either behind me as well as on my lap, around my lap, under Mika, and I'm just using whatever that I can to support him so that when I'm breastfeeding him, I'm not actually leaning or straining myself. So in the past, when he wants to feed, I would feel really scared, like, because I know that the pain was going to come and it was going to be a very unenjoyable experience for me. But right now after I've made all these changes, it's become a lot less painful, and it's not that it's enjoyable, but it has become a lot more tolerant for me to breastfeed him. And that's really what I want, because there were certain points whereby, I'm not gonna lie to you, I felt like giving up. I felt like, you know what, I'm just not going to breastfeed. I'm just going to give him like 100% formula and I'm going to stop breastfeeding. That was how painful it was mentally and physically for me. So I'm glad that I took steps to kind of help with all these problems. I think there will probably be new challenges, and if there are, I will be happy to share them with you again. But I hope that if you're watching this and you are experiencing either similar challenges or the challenges itself, I hope that I've been able to help you a little bit. You are not alone. There are people out there like me who are experiencing problems when breastfeeding. It's not just something that we should just sweep under the carpet. And if you're experiencing problems, I highly recommend for you to see a specialist, because it has really helped me, you know what changes to make in my breastfeeding journey. So I hope this has been helpful, and if you have your own journeys or your own experiences that you want to share with me, please comment in the comment section down below. It would really help to kind of learn from one another. Don't forget to thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.